Hello, and thank you for joining us for Lunchtime News on KBC Channel 1, coming to live from the Broadcasting House in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. My name is Giverson, Maina, and our sign language interpreter is Caroline Njoroge. So join us for the next 1 hour or so for news within, of course, across the country, and of course, start interacting with our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. And of course, mine is at Giverson, Maina. And now let's get started. Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology has partnered with schools across the Western region to encourage more girls to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM subjects. The initiative seeks to inspire learners to take up STEM-related courses and careers by creating awareness of opportunities available in science and technology fields. Now, university officials said strengthening STEM education is key to driving innovation, industrial growth, and economic development. The program will include mentorship sessions, career guidance, science exhibitions, and academic outreach activities aimed at equipping learners with the skills and motivation needed to excel in STEM disciplines. School administrators have welcomed the partnership, saying it will help boost interest in science subjects while preparing students for opportunities in the modern job market.
We invest a lot in this particular high school to ensure that they get the right skills that can assist them come for these competitive courses. As you know, STEM is one of the main areas or pathways in what we are calling the CBE. And we believe by bringing these girls together and equipping them with the right knowledge about science, technology, engineering and mathematics, we will be able to actually have them and transform this country to an industrial.
We just want to build the capacity of these girls, let them know that women can make it. And we use our students, and these students have done an amazing job. So yes, as we partner with the community outreach, we want to do this and even scale it to greater levels.
Hasn't been so good. It's like our girls are so much inclined to art subjects, and yet we have the laboratories, we have the teachers. So I'm sure by your coming, they're going to change their view about maths, chemistry, and physics.
Now, still matters education, technical and vocational education and training institutions, TVET, are set to establish local industries where trainees will gain practical experience and transition into employment. Now, speaking in Kabete National Polytechnic, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos said Kenya is positioning itself to compete globally in skills development by becoming a supplier of talent, innovation, and practical solutions. At the same time, technical and vocational education and Training Principal Secretary Esther Muria said the time has come for research and innovations developed in TVET institutions to be refined, protected, and translated into solutions for industry.
And with this approach, the government has created quality and sustainable jobs for the youth through strategic investments in the digital infrastructure, e-mobility, renewable energy, climate action, and other green growth initiatives, including the blue economy.
We have agreed as a department that the time for looking for industries out there where our young people are going to be trained has to come to an end. We have to establish the industries within our institution.
Now we take you to Vihiga County, where a post-mortem report has revealed that a Form 4 student at Moi Girls High School in Vokoli in Vihiga County died from cardiac arrest. Now, Michelle Afandi collapsed and died on Tuesday this week while fetching water within the school compound. Now, pathologist Dixon Mchane revealed the findings following an autopsy conducted at the Vihiga mortuary. Now, her death was confirmed by the school principal, Helen Mabese, who described the incident as a big blow to the institution, especially after losing another student 2 months ago. The family now says Michelle's death has left a huge gap and which has caused immense grief among her relatives and friends.
So today I've looked at a departed girl, Michelle Afandi. Yeah, so she suffered what we call a sudden cardiac death. We did an exhaustive autopsy, and there's no foul play, so natural death.
Michelle Afandi is a total fan. I appreciate the larger family of Michelle Afandi that trusted us with this girl. It's unfortunate after losing the parents also Michelle for loss. It's very painful. Si rahisi, lakini Mungu atuzidishie nguvu, the strength to accept the untimely demise of this young girl. She was really promising.
Our condolences goes to Girls High School, Vokoli, Vihiga County, and of course, the family. Now, friends, or rather, Kenya's competency-based education system is set for a major boost following the unveiling of a virtual laboratory system courtesy of the Center for Mathematics, Science and Technology in Africa, Current Campus. The e-labs, which have been developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, will help schools grappling with the challenge of insufficient laboratory facilities interact with the much-needed practical lessons virtually, easing pressure on limited resources.
With close to 3 years since the rollout of the competency-based education curriculum system, the STEM pathway has attracted immense appetite from learners across the country. The increasing uptake, however, comes with its own challenge of inadequate teaching and learning resources in many schools, and especially in underserved areas, a situation which is denying millions of learners opportunity to access the crucial practical experience of the subjects.
We've realized that quite a number of junior schools do not have adequate resources, laboratory resources, the physical, labs.
To bridge this critical gap, Semastea, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, has developed virtual laboratories which will bring practical knowledge in mathematics and integrated science subjects closer to the learners.
One, I want to thank the government. Actually, there is connectivity almost across board everywhere. But now there are areas where connectivity is slow. So what we've done is that these labs can be accessed offline. And then we expect that even on mobile devices like the phones, and we have ensured that they can also be accessed through the tablets. Those tablets that are in primary schools.
The contextualized online learning platform will enable learners and teachers conduct science experiments and practical lessons virtually through Semastea's digital platforms, enhancing access to quality STEM education.
We have provided a link. Of course, they can visit Semastea website, www.semastea.ac.ke. There, one of the tabs is virtual laboratories. So once they get in here, they will be able to see a variety of labs that have been developed. Of course, it's not exhaustive, but we are still continuing developing them. And the unique feature with these labs is that actually they are customized and contextualized to our CBE.
To ensure the successful implementation of the program, the institution has rolled out a 3-day training of more than 240 trainers.
This initiative, whereby the government is capacity building the teachers on how to use an online interactive tools where the teachers will be able to use virtual laboratories and simulations to teach their learners without them having the physical apparatus in their specific schools.
As country trainers, you are the vanguard of this transformation. Your role is pivotal in ensuring that these virtual labs are not just tools, but catalysts for creativity, innovation, and problem solving among our learners.
The group is then expected to cascade the same to junior school mathematics and science teachers across the country, ensuring all learners are equipped with practical knowledge regardless of their geographical location. John Kahiro for Lunchtime News.
Now let's take you to the corridors of justice, where two men accused of murdering Kilifi County IBC manager Aisha Akinyi Abubakar have been placed on their defense after the High Court in Mombasa found they have a case to answer. Now the ruling follows the conclusion of the prosecution's case, which saw 10 witnesses testify. Now Justice Wendy Kagendo ruled that Joseph Sunday Otieno, also known as Brian Shikuku Mudari and Brian Templar Oyare, must now defend themselves against charges of murdering Aisha Akinyi Abubakar. The two are accused of killing the Kilifi County IBC manager on January 5th, 2025 at her home in Utange, Shanzu, Mombasa County, in an incident where her teenage son was also injured. The matter will be mentioned on June 25th when the accused are expected to indicate how they wish to proceed. Now from Kilifi, take you to Kisumu County, where youth in Kisumu have been urged to collaborate with the security agencies in the war on crime for a cohesive society, even as the electioneering period nears. A community dialogue in the Lakeside County convened by Crime CIPOA, a civil society organization, established that unemployment is the major contributor to the youth involvement in criminal activities, with the government a challenge to adopt development policies that are youth-specific. Now, the participants are cautioned to desist from being exploited by the political class to commit crime for meager compensation, with the security agencies warning of individual punishment. Young Kenyans were further challenged to take advantage of the various government initiatives such as the Nyota program to grow themselves.
What we have to actually bear in mind that the crime does not pay, because ideally we have youths who are learned, they're trained, and they can build the nation using the skills that they have. And getting into crime or following people who pay some token of amount or some small amount to either perpetuate or push the crime does not add value. So what I can tell the youth is that based on the skills that they have, they can join different sectors, and they can also use the skills, either the media. The government is also rolling out several programs, including the Nyota. Those particular small tokens that are coming on board, they can either join hand together and come up with an initiative that can actually add value to them.
Tunapata ya kwamba these youths who are being used ni wale wenye wako idle. They don't have what to do. Like ukienda in areas like Manyata, Nyalenda, Ndobunga, they are the young boys wenye wamepatikana tu wameketi.
Oh, still matters, young people. Kenyan youth have been urged to uphold peace and unity ahead of the country's electoral period. Now, speaking during a peace-themed tree planting event in Nairobi, Ren Lee, the director of Heavenly Culture, called on young people to champion peaceful coexistence while also taking an active role in addressing climate change through environmental conservation initiatives.
So I'm really asking to you, showing your power with a good way, rather than the demonstration and protest, not that way for, but you can join together the real peace work. Even today we are planting the peace, that is through the planting the tree. So everyone let us join together what we can do. And through this one, let's make a true peace in this Kenya.
We therefore urge the youth to see tree planting, environmental conservation as one of the measures to preventing recruitment into violent extremists. And we urge Kenyans to also look into the digital space, which is the most prevalently used space to lure and recruit the youth.
Now we go back to Vihiga County once more, where education stakeholders in Vihiga County are calling for increased investment in learning infrastructure, enhanced student discipline, and expanded opportunities for learners to compete globally. Now, speaking during the launch of the construction of a 5-story academic block at the Forever Hope Academy in Shamahoho ward of Vihiga County, the proprietor of the Forever Hope Academy in the TEP-PL, Dr. Gilbert Shanga, said that the new 5-story building will enhance learning facilities while creating both direct and indirect jobs for members of the surrounding community. He also expressed concern over the increasing cases of unrest in schools, urging parents and other education stakeholders to play a more active role in guiding learners and promoting discipline.
Tumeona kuna vurugu mingi sana shuleni na tunashangaa ni nini inafanyika na wanafunzi wetu shule zetu. Inatakana turudie maadili ile ya kitambo ya wazazi, walimu, kila watu na wanafunzi wakuwe na hekima. Inaonekana vile pengine tulitoa punishment shuleni, maybe tulitoa sana.
Na hawa ni watoto ambao wangali na akili ambao inaendelea kugrow. So ni lazima wapate mwelekeo, kwa sababu hawajakomaa wajue this is wrong, this is right. So inafaa stakeholders, leaders, wazazi na walimu tukae chini, tuangalie hili jambo la kuchoma shule, hili jambo la watoto kukosa nidhamu, ni nini kinaweza fanyika.
And away from that, former Garissa Governor Ali Korane has urged the Muslim community in the northeastern region to rally behind President William Ruto's re-election bid next year, arguing that the president has so far proven dependable to them. Now, speaking during a meeting with Muslim religious leaders in Garissa town, Korane said the region has gained a lot from the current administration, from infrastructure development to policy changes, hence the need to offer the support to the President William Ruto-led administration for another term. He further called on religious leaders to be at the forefront in taming runaway insecurity in Garissa town, which has caused fear among residents. Korane is seeking the mandate to lead Garissa as governor in the 2027 polls.
Kubali kuliunga mkono kwa kutafuta hiyo kiti ya governor, na nawashukuru. Tuko na president wetu Mheshimiwa William Ruto, pia anataka achaguliwe tena. Nataka kuwauliza ya kwamba vile mmeamua kuniunga mkono, tunataka pia tumuunge mkono Mheshimiwa Rais, mtu ambaye amesimama na Waislamu, mtu amesimama naye na madarasa, ametoa pesa hata kujenga misikiti. Kwa hivyo ni kiongozi ambaye tunaweza kumtegemea. Pia zaidi ni kiongozi wa chama chetu, kwa hivyo tumchague Mheshimiwa Rais.
And now from Garissa, we cross over to Kajiado County, where residents of Kitengela in Kajiado County are calling for calm, peace and sobriety ahead of the anticipated 2024 Finance Bill protest commemoration on June 25th. Now, speaking during a peace advocacy meeting held in Kitengela town, residents, young people and the clergy from both the Christian and Muslim faith say that peaceful protests are increasingly becoming unachievable as they continue to be infiltrated by criminals, resulting to chaos and loss of lives, property destruction and massive looting. Now, relatives of victims of police brutality yesterday marched to Jogo House to issue a notice of planned peaceful nationwide commemoration protest.
Alikuwa nafanya kazi hapa Namanga Road. Sasa hiyo harakati ya kukuja nyumbani hiyo saa 1 ndio alipigwa risasi.
Maandamano ya Kitengela tumuone imekuja imechukuliwa na wahuni, ambayo maandamano ikiwa Kitengela kazi yao ni kuja kuvuruga biashara za watu, kuja kupora mali ya watu na kuja kufanya hii mji ionekane kuwa ni mji ambayo haina usalama hata kidogo.
Vijana wangu ninawaomba mkeep amani, muweze kuweka amani na mjali your neighbor.
The more tunafanya maandamano, the more wananchi wanapata shida, maafa na biashara za watu kuharibika. Kama ni maandamano, basi kwa njia ya amani na kwa sheria zake.
And now let's cross over to Nakuru County, where a section of religious leaders drawn from Njoro have castigated politicians who are hiring goons to disrupt meetings and unleash violence in places of worship. Now, church leaders have termed the actions immoral and a threat to national stability. Now, speaking after week-long prayers for peace in Njoro, the leaders also took a swipe at the government for what they say is a failure to offer adequate security to places of worship and Kenyans in general, especially during these heightened political season. They have also called on religious leaders to speak in one voice in condemning such acts.
We are standing firm as church leaders that goons have no place in Kenyan politics. We differ. Let's support different candidates, but we don't have to fight or hire, especially the young people, to disrupt other meetings.
So it calls us for a deeper reflection, because it's not something that we can fix when we don't look at where is the genesis, what is happening.
We hope for and we are trusting God, and we know, we are sure 2027 shall be peaceful.
And now back to Garissa once more. People with disabilities in Garissa County have been encouraged to go for elective positions in the next year's general elections. Now, speaking to the press after the session, ORPP's Northeastern Regional Coordinator Ifra Issa noted that the engagement with the PWDs was part of the registrar's commitment to inclusive participation in political and electoral processes for all Kenyans. IEBC's Senior Elections Manager, or rather Officer in Garissa, Abdi Yunis Mohammed, on his part urged the PWDs not to shy away from seeking elective positions in any of the 6 categories in the country.
Today, with the commitment of ORPP for inclusive democracy and inclusive participation in political and electoral processes, we had a good engagement with PWDs na ilikuwa siku nzuri sana.
We have really sensitized them on issues in relation to elections, how they can participate in elections, and we told them that they are just like any other person, and therefore they can take part any elective posts.
Tumepata mafunzo mengi ambapo imetufaidi. Tulisema tuendelee Kenya, na sisi kama person with disability hatutawachwa nyuma. Tutaendelea kushirikana na Wakenya na tutafanya uchaguzi ya amani bila mfuriko.
And let's cross over to Kale County, or rather campaigns ahead of the July 16th All-Kalao parliamentary by-election have taken a new turn, with a section of Mount Kenya leaders directing criticism at Kipipiri MP Wanjiko Muhia over remarks perceived as inflammatory and likely to fuel tensions during the campaign period. Now, Nyandarua woman Representative Faith Gitao, Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire, Laikipia East MP Mwangi Kiunjuri, and Kiambu woman Member of Parliament Anne Wamuratha warned that any violence witnessed during the by-election will be blamed on leaders engaging in divisive politics. They urge security agencies to take action against individuals citing communities living in the constituency and called on the preservation of peace and unity.
Wanasema hapa Olkalao wanataka kulete vita. Sisi sio watu wa vita, sisi ni watu wa amani, na tunajua hizi siasa tunazifanya na amani.
Wanataka waende watukane serikali, watukane mshina na wengine ili washikwe. Mimi nataka kuelezea NCIC. Mshishike mtu yoyote. Mshina ako sawa, tuko sawa, hawa ndio watu wa Olkalao. Hawana fitina na mtu, hawana fujo na mtu.
Tuketi kwa serikali. Tukamue ile tutaweza kukamua kwa sasa. Kwa nini tuende nje ya serikali wakati huu? Na ni sisi tuliitafuta. Si ni nyinyi mliitafuta? Kwa hivyo makasiriko tuache. Tupate university, tupate hospitali, tupate barabara, tupate maji.
Karao sio Kipipiri, ni Kenya. Kwa hivyo unafaa kuwa mahali ambapo unafaa kuwa. Mambo ya kutishia watu ati wakikuja Olkalao na waonekane ni wageni, hiyo ni mambo yamepitwa na wakati. Wakenya wanafaa kuenda kila mahali.
And now from Nyandarua and All Kalau elections story. Transporters are now claiming that delays by the National Transport and Safety Authority to issue new vehicle number plates have led to a crisis in the industry. Now, players in the industry decry losses, saying they can neither put their newly purchased vehicles on the roads nor get compensation from insurers in case of accidents or theft. Now, David Kiari, the chairperson of the Road Safety Association of Kenya, said the crisis is as a result of e-citizen payment method, urging that car dealers be allowed to pay for the number plates directly to NTSA. He claimed that the delay amounts to economic sabotage. Here's more.
Kuna hii issue ya number plates huwa zina delay sana, zinakawia muda mrefu, na wakati zinakawia kienda kwa barabara kiwa na zile namba tumeandika tu na marker pen ama nini, unasumbuliwa na serikali na NTSA juu ni government institution. Tunaona bado ni riski juu hata hiyo gari ikipotea kuitafuta itakuwa shida, na hiyo gari hata ikienda ifanye accident mahali bila kuwa na hizo number plate bado ni riski.
Hizi number plates tunajua watu wanalipa kwa e-citizen. Kwa hivyo hii pesa yote ishalipwa. Hii pesa imekwenda wapi? Kwa nini contractors hawajalipwa? Kutoka sasa watu wa agree kwamba hii pesa itakuwa inalipwa direct kwa NTSA ama inalipwa direct kwa contractor. Wacha dealers walipe direct kwa contractor, ndio tusiwe na hii shida.
And now let's cross over to Kwale County now, where outdated traditions, cultural beliefs and misconceptions surrounding family planning in Kwale County continue to prevent many families from accessing reproductive health services. Health experts say a significant number of couples fail to seek medical advice or utilize family planning methods, prompting renewed efforts to increase awareness and improve uptake. Now, in response to the issue, Fanikisha Foundation, in collaboration with the Kwale Ministry of Health, has launched a village-to-village sensitization on family planning, targeting both men and women. Now, according to the United Nations Population Fund, the uptake of family planning had risen with the use of modern contraceptive methods among married women, reaching 57%.
Usikose kutumia, maanake sasa ukiwa na watoto wengi pia sasa hivi kuna changamoto ya masomo, mambo hayo machangamoto ya matibabu na nini. Kwa hivyo at least ukipata watoto ambao unaweza kuwa control itakuwa ni vizuri.
Tunaona watoto wanaoletwa pale hospitali, tutapata mama amezaa karibu na akiza karibu wale watoto wanakosa afya njema, na pia tunapata kuona labda mama ameavya mimba immediately anapata ujauzito mwingine. Kwa hivyo inabidi tuhamasishe jamii. Watoto wanakuja kwa underweight, malnourished, na labda ni kwa sababu ya family planning hawachukui kwa wingi. Kwa hivyo tunahamasisha jamii wachukue hizi family planning ndio waweze kuspace watoto wao wawe na afya bora.
And on that note, we take a short commercial break. Don't go too far. There's still so much more coming your way. Stay with us.
The FIFA World Cup 2026, hosted by the Triumvirate of Canada, Mexico and the United States of America, promises to be blissful. Explore the most exciting edition of the tournament to date as 48 teams from around the globe compete in 104 fixtures across 16 host cities. We celebrate culture, friendship, and more importantly, monetizing talent. At this first ever Tri-National World Cup from 11th of June to 19th of July 2026. Just like the formidable 10 African nations represented, be at the center of the FIFA World Cup 2026. 34 free-to-air matches live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Keeper stays at home and Krejci heads it over the top, slams the ground in frustration. And the Czech skipper.
When he went and played it off. It did come back off him. It's a good spot from the referee. She spotted that. It's a brilliant spot.
Dial *977# or download My Power app to access Kenya Power services fast and easy. Kenya Power, nuru ya Kenya.
And welcome back. You're watching Lunchtime News on KBC Channel 1. And let's take you to Kitui County, where more than 300 boda riders in Kitui County have received road safety and economic empowerment training through a program sponsored by Mogo Kenya. The initiative aims to enhance road safety and give them tools to better their lives. Now, speaking during the event, the National Boda Association chairperson Kevin Mubandi urged riders to work closely with police officers to help curb criminal activities in the county. Mubandi also said the program will also benefit many young people by giving them an opportunity to own bodabodas through a flexible installment payment plan.
Na leo tumefika Kitui kwa sababu ya mambo matatu. Moja ni mambo ya security, safety na welfare ya watu wa bodaboda, and also how the bodaboda sector can partner with the government kusupport agenda za serikali as a whole. So leo tumeongea na viongozi na watu wa bodaboda hapa Kitui, and we want to appreciate the Kitui team that they are very well organized. Ni watu ambao wanajielewa, and we have had a serious discussion kwa mambo ya safety na security. Na pia tukiongelea about mambo ya loans. We just want to appreciate the partners ambao ni Mogo ambao tumekuwa nao hapa siku ya leo kwa kuwaletea the financial literacy na pia kujitolea kwao kusupport vijana wa bodaboda kuweza kuaccess hizi loans ambazo wanaweza kuaccess.
Now, two pupils from Eshikoni Primary School in Navaholo constituency in Kakamega County have been admitted to a private hospital in Shisuru after developing stomach complications after allegedly eating maize. Now, the pupil's aunt was among those admitted after consuming maize harvested from a neighbor's farm. These and more stories in our county's news roundup.
According to their aunt, Margaret Sumba, who is also a victim, shortly after roasting and eating the maize, they began experiencing severe stomach problems. The trio was rushed to the hospital and is responding well to treatment.
Ni mtoto kwenda mahindi, anatuambia ameenda kutoka shosho. Kumba ameenda kuiba ya wenyewe. Sasa vile alitoa ya wenyewe, ni mimi mwenye nilianza kuwa mgonjwa.
Elsewhere, a family in Kwale County is seeking justice after post-mortem results indicate that their 31-year-old deaf daughter was strangled to death and later dumped by her captors.
Sababu ya kifo ilikuwa ni asphyxia, which is lack of oxygen ama kukosa hewa kwa sababu ya kunyongwa, manual strangulation, na pia kwa kutumia nguvu kwa kumgonga kwa kichwa, na pia kwa sehemu za kifua alikuwa na bleeding internally.
Meanwhile, in Nyandarua County, persons with disabilities have raised concerns over the numerous challenges they face in the political arena, saying the obstacles continue to hinder them from vying for elective positions and securing nomination slots in political parties.
Sisi kama walemavu tumefunzwa venye tunakuanga nominated. Kama the first thing unafaa kuwa registered na NCPWD, ile council yetu ya persons with disability, and then ukue kwa chama, and then ukue active kwa siasa.
In Homa Bay County, land disputes have been identified as a major challenge, with some cases previously leading to violence and loss of life. Authorities says efforts to address the disputes through public awareness and land clinics have helped reduce conflicts in the region.
We have had issues of people claiming that seeking title deeds for their own private lands is such a tedious process. Now, by bringing the land officials to the field, I want to demystify the issue of government offices being inaccessible. We are not entertaining brokers or cartels within land transactions.
In Migori County, civil society organizations have launched an intensive peace sensitization campaign targeting youth and political leaders ahead of the 2027 general election.
We are facilitating the process for us to build that peace pre-election going up to post-election. We are bringing them on board to train them through dialogue.
Still in Migori County, the Department of Water and Energy has expressed confidence that it will achieve a budget absorption rate of over 90% by the end of the 2025-2026 financial year, despite challenges such as infrastructure vandalism and delays in donor funding.
We had several projects that we planned to a tune of 84 water projects across the county. At the moment, we've done 54. We are only remaining with 30. We are going to see our rate of absorption will be more than 90%.
And now to Nakuru County. Farmers in Mai Mahiu in Nakuru County are up in arms of a plan by an investor to set up a quarry mining site, terming the investment a health risk to their families and livestock. Now, the farmers from Rare village have vowed to seek legal redress to block the multi-million industry by an Indian investment, noting that nearby villages are undergoing untold suffering from other quarries. Now, according to Simon Njoroge, the community leader, the locals were opposed to a new move to start a quarry activities near the homesteads owing to the past activities. Njoroge said the residents had agreed to zone off the section where locals had erected their houses for quarrying activities, but the new investor had planned to start operations against their wishes.
Kaa chini kama community tukazone area yetu. Tuliweka boundary na tukasema kuanzia kwa hii shamba sasa yenye wanasema ni yao kurudi chini, hii ni area ya kilimo.
Tunekataa hiyo simo isimbo. Kwa ajili sasa ikisimbo tutafunikwa ni ufumbi. Sasa mama hiyo ataenda wapi? Na hiyo mama atapelekwa wapi? Watoto wetu watapelekwa wapi?
Before we bought the land, we had done a search and we had also gone to the relevant offices like the county government office to inquire if it is possible to change user for the land, and we were given a go-ahead.
And away from that, the Kilifi County government has made a significant milestone in the health sector by launching the first cancer center in the North Coast region. Now, the center will ease the burden of cancer patients in the area who previously had to travel long distances to get medical services. Now, speaking after officially launching the center at the Kilifi County Referral Hospital in Kilifi Town, Governor Gideon Mungaro, who was accompanied by the French ambassador to Kenya, Anad Suke, said he was elated that this project came to fruition. Now, Ambassador Asuke added that the partnership between the Kilifi County government, Aga Khan Hospital and Gates Foundation was crucial in ensuring the project was successful.
I'm happy that Kilifi has a cancer center. I am sure, what is the name? Tana River, Lamu, even Mombasa. Some of the clans will come here and benefit from this facility.
Fransa na Kenya una ushirikiano mwema kati nchi mbili zote, lakini tunaungana mikono na serikali ya county government na Kilifi na Aga Khan na rafiki yangu balozi wa Aga Khan na Gate Foundation, ile wananchi wa Kilifi watafaidika kwa afya bora. Tunapambana pamoja mambo ya saratani. Mradi hii ni muhimu sana katika tunaboresha maisha ya wananchi.
And our professionals from various fields based in the United States are currently in Kenya, transforming lives and mentoring communities through an initiative dubbed Rise Up Kenya. Now, speaking during the outreach program, Carissa Adkins, Chief Executive Officer of Alpha Queen Collection, said the team is focused on mentoring students, conducting community outreach programs, and empowering vulnerable groups across the country. She revealed that the initiative has so far awarded 8 scholarships to students pursuing higher education. Take a look.
To not only help the children, but they've made a bigger impact on me, and they don't even realize it, but it's just been rewarding to be able to help them. I already want to come back again. I'm already talking to Carissa about coming back, and I just want to spread this with the world. And I just don't think, this is never something I thought I would do, and so it's just majorly impacted me as a person.
I am a women's functional hormone specialist, so I talk about women's cycles all day long, and I am teaching grown women to not have shame around their bodies. And so seeing what is needed here is where it's really just the acceptance of who they are, and that it's not strange, and the fact that we were able to partner with Ruby Cups is a huge thing for me.
Now, there were jubilations at the Kimana Girls School in Kajiado County, or rather Kajiado South, after the school received a new 67-seater school bus during a Thanksgiving ceremony. Principal Secretary for Basic Education, John Ololua, who commissioned the bus, lauded the school for its performance during the recent KGCE exams. Now, local leadership promised to complete more projects through NGCDF to expand the school infrastructure. Take a look.
Nimeona jambo la kwanza ni mambo ya bus ambayo imepeanwa na Anderson Foundation. Jambo la pili ni electric fence. Jambo la tatu nimeona pia ni jengo tofauti ambayo imefanywa, including ile imefanywa na CDF na serikali kwa ujumla.
Leo ninashukuru kwamba tumejenga multipurpose hall ambayo inachukua watoto 800 ndani na iko pale, na hata tunaendelea kuwaongezea, tuwaekee modern kitchen. I think by July contractor atakuja kutengeneza modern kitchen ya hiyo multipurpose yetu.
And more than 260,000 smallholder farmers in Laikipia, Nyandarua, Murang'a, Kiambu, and Nairobi counties are set to benefit from a new water conservation project aimed at improving livelihoods, now protecting water sources and enhancing climate resilience. Now, this follows the signing of a partnership agreement between drug manufacturer Helion Kenya and the Upper Tana Nairobi Water Fund Trust to restore critical watersheds that supplies most of Nairobi's water. Now, the program, in which Helion Kenya has invested 26 million Kenyan shillings, will support farmers through training on sustainable farming and water conservation practices while promoting environmental protection in the Upper Tana catchment, with the Upper Tana currently estimated to supply about 95% of the water consumed in Nairobi. The Nairobi City Water Sewerage Company has also underscored the importance of healthy catchments to ensuring a safe and reliable water supply for consumers.
We intend to conserve at least 50 million liters of water every year by the end of next year. And by 2028, 76 million liters of water. And then we move on from there.
We want to be water neutral. So whatever water we take from the environment, we put it back through the conservation measures that will be done by the Upper Tana group.
We are dealing with over 260,000 farmers in the watershed in the 5 counties. And apart from taking them through what conservation entails, part of this partnership with the Helion will provide them with training, customized tailored training, which will help them conserve and make better use of the resources at their disposal.
We are coming up with an adapt a catchment fund that we are going to incorporate them, and also we'll have a memorandum together in October when we'll be launching the adopt catchment.
Now, Now let's get to business. The government is transforming sugar factories into a major producer of electricity and biofuel as part of a broader strategy to strengthen energy security, reduce fuel imports, of course, boost value addition. Now, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe says the government is positioning sugar factories as integrated industrial hubs producing sugar, electricity and ethanol and other high-value products from sugarcane. Take a look.
Kenya is working on a plan to empower sugar factories become key players in electricity generation from bagasse, a fibrous byproduct of sugar processing that is often underutilized.
That we in agriculture can work with the energy ministry to make sure that as agriculturists, we also supply energy to the Ministry of Energy rather than importing everything from outside the country.
During a visit to West Valley Sugar Company in Kericho County, Kagwe noted that the government is working with the Ministry of Energy to establish frameworks that will allow millers to sell the electricity to the national grid, which will generate revenue for sugar factories and farmers.
We must come together very quickly to start buying the extra power that the sugar mills are producing. For example, in this factory, the directors have just told me that they are capable. They are producing, is it 30? 5 point something megawatts. And they told me they can double that if necessary. They are producing 5.5 megawatts with only 30% of the bagasse that they have.
The move will push up ethanol production and reduce dependence on imported petroleum products.
You have seen for yourselves what has happened in the Middle East. The petrochemical sector is being affected very seriously. And if we can produce sufficient ethanol in this country and we combine it with the imported petrol and otherwise, then we can be able to lower down the cost of importation and save foreign exchange.
West Valley Sugar Company currently produces about 20,000 litres of ethanol daily, which Kagwe says is a model for transformation of the sugar industry. Trevor Ngendo for Lunchtime News.
Thank you, Trevor, for that report. Now, farmers are being encouraged to adopt a newly developed bean variety designated to improve soil fertility while boosting crop yields as Kenya seeks to address declining soil health and strengthen food security. Now, International Center for Tropical Agriculture soil scientist Boaz Wasu says 3 private companies have been licensed to commercialize the fast-growing, high-yielding bean variety, which has high nitrogen fixing properties that can help replenish depleted soils.
Kenya imports about 150 tons of beans annually to bridge a supply gap as demand for the staple continues to rise. To boost local production, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization and the International Center for Tropical Agriculture have developed a fast-maturing, high-yielding bean variety that is rich in nitrogen and designed to improve both productivity and soil health.
In the past, we used to develop a variety which takes longer to cook, which takes longer to mature, which for now are no longer the best varieties because the weather has changed, the consumer preferences have changed.
The new variety, which is set for commercialization, is highly nutritious and requires less energy to cook, making it more affordable for households.
Farmers that do regenerative agriculture, they are able to increase their productivity. And that's a proven. You might find a farmer growing 1 kilogram of that bean and getting 60 kilograms. By using the regenerative agriculture approaches, good agricultural practices, it will be able to give us that.
Its nitrogen-fixing properties are expected to play a key role in restoring depleted soils and enhancing long-term agricultural productivity.
Use of fertilizer, chemical fertilizer alone, will not be able to regenerate our soils very well. So we need a bit of biological means, like introduction of legumes in the system, to make sure that's why in the past, even our farmers, they are doing crop rotation, maize and beans, or intercrop, because they knew these two, they go together.
The agricultural value chain is calling for stronger public-private partnerships to scale up such innovations and support efforts aimed at improving soil fertility, strengthening food systems, and reducing Kenya's reliance on imports.
And the link is, when you look at what is happening in terms of soil health, if you don't have a healthy commodity at the production level, maybe it's lacking certain nutrients, this kind of commodity will still be translated to our plate.
Most of our farms are degraded, and so the research that we focus on is how we can support farmers to adopt sustainable practices that restore soil health, that also improve soil biodiversity, improve water holding capacity, but also soils that are able to hold carbon, basically addressing the issues of carbon in carbon emission.
Now to global news now. Commercial shipping has resumed through the Strait of Hormuz after the United States and Iran signed a memorandum of understanding ending months of conflict, although vessel traffic remains well below normal levels. Now the strategic waterway, a key route for global oil and trade flows, had been commercial transit nearly ground to a halt following the outbreak of the US-Israeli war against Iran in February. Now here are the details of these and other stories making headlines across the borders.
Merchant vessels have been once again seen navigating the strait, while the number of ships anchored along surrounding coastlines began to decline as a backlog of stranded vessels slowly eased. At the height of the disruption, more than 100 ships were reported to be waiting in nearby waters, unable or unwilling to transit the corridor. Maritime tracking data showed a growing number of vessels moving through the passage, though traffic volumes remained significantly below pre-conflict levels. Despite the reopening, shipping companies and traders remain cautious, with analysts warning that confidence in one of the world's most important maritime checkpoints could take time to fully recover. Meanwhile, India is increasingly relying on direct cash transfers to support millions of low-income households, with spending on welfare payments rising sharply over the past decade despite the country's rapid economic growth. Indian government allocations for cash transfer programs have grown from less than $2 billion in 2015 to about $30 billion, making them one of the country's fastest expanding social support measures. The authorities targeted largely at women and farmers now account for nearly 1% of India's GDP and have spread across most states as authorities seek to cushion households against inflation, weak consumption and persistent unemployment. Finally, Brexit has reduced the size of the UK economy by about 6% over the past decade, according to a study based on internal Bank of England data and company performance since the 2016 referendum. Researchers found that roughly half of the economic impact stemmed from uncertainty following the vote, while the remainder was linked to higher trade barriers after Britain left the EU single market and customs union in 2021. The study says the effects of Brexit emerged gradually rather than as an immediate shock. Reduced access to key export markets has weighed on Britain's growth and productivity. Reporting for KBC Channel 1, my name is Britton Elia.
And now let's get sporty for a moment. And now today marks a major milestone for African football. June 19th, 2026 is exactly 1 year until the start of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, which will be jointly hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania under the Pamoja banner. Now, the history tournament will kick off on June 19th, 2027 and run through July 17th, bringing together 24 of Africa's top national teams in a month-long battle for continental glory.
First time in the history of the African Cup of Nations, 3 East African nations will come together to host the continent's biggest football event. Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania are working around the clock to ensure they are ready to welcome thousands of fans, teams and officials from across Africa and beyond. Across the region, major infrastructure projects are gathering pace. In Nairobi, stadium upgrades and transport improvements are transforming key sporting venues and access routes. Similar developments are underway in Kampala and Dar es Salaam, where the authorities are investing heavily in facilities designed to meet international standards. The tournament represents more than just football. Organizers say AFCON 2027 will showcase East African culture, tourism, and economic potential on a global stage. The event also marks the return of Africa's premier football competition to the region for the first time in more than 5 decades, since East Africa last hosted the tournament in 1976.
Now to matters World Cup now. Teboho Makoena, 83rd minute goal assured South Africa a point after a 1-1 draw with Czech Republic. Now Bafana trailed after 5 minutes when Mikol Sadilek scored what is now the earliest goal of the tournament. Now after struggling to create chances, their fortunes are finally changed when Dhampilo Masekos shot caught Pavel Asuk's arm with less than 10 minutes remaining, and Makoena made no mistake with the finish slotting into the net. The draw saw South Africa remain fourth in Group A and now must beat South Korea in the last group match to keep their dreams of qualifying to the next group alive. Now in other matches, Mexico beat South Korea 1-0, while Canada registered a 6-0 win over Qatar.